welcome to the How to Craft Network studio. My name is Toni, as you all probably know by now. This is a fabulous inspirational channel where you're going to be able to get hints and tips and techniques for all of the lovely products that you may have in your crafty stash at home. In today's studio, I'm going to use a beautiful ornate owl stamp design, which is one of our all-time favourites here at Stamps by Me, and it gives you the most gorgeous, realistic owl in flight with some beautiful, uplifting sentiments. It's an absolute beautiful, beautiful design, and you get the large image and the small image so you can coordinate those envelopes as well. So let's do something quite classic with this beautiful owl today. So let's just get some cardstock. So I'm using craft coloured cardstock today. And I'm going to use from the set, this is the design, we have a large and a small, and then the beautiful sentiments, and I'm going to use the larger one today. I'm just going to show you how incredibly beautiful this owl is. So I'm just going to pop it to the top of my cardstock here, and I'm going to heat emboss this one. We're pulling out all of the stops today, and we're going to do some heat embossing. So I'm just going to anti-static the area where I'm going to do that stamping, simply because I don't want all of those little flyaway pieces. I want to keep it really neat. And then I'm just going to ink up that owl. And get that design on this cardstock. And it should give us a lovely imprint on this craft coloured cardstock so you can actually see it. So there we go. I'm just going to go over it one more time to make sure I've picked up all of that detail in these stamps. They are deeply etched stamps, and I'm going to give you a crisp image every single time. There we go. So I'm going to heat emboss on my cardstock in white first, and then we're going to do something quite creative. I'm just going to take my white embossing powder here. And pour it onto that design, flick off any excess, and you get the most beautiful ornate owl. Now this will come brighter as we heat set this. With our embossing powders, or with any embossing powders, you always must heat set your design, otherwise it will just brush off. So I'll just set this one aside here. We will just move this one out of the way for now. I'm just going to get my gun. I'm going to get it nice and hot. The hotter your gun means less lumps and bumps in your card, so less time spent on the card really does help. So I'm just going to lift up this design here, and as soon as my gun, is hot enough, I'll pop it straight onto my artwork, and then it will be ready to go. As that powder changes colour and gets brighter, chase that powder. You see every single bit of detail. In that owl. Absolutely beautiful in design. So what I want to do with this is I'd like to add a sentiment before I add the second part of the design. So I'm just going to hold it in place, and I have one of the lovely sentiments which says, because there are some beautiful ones in this one, freedom is being you without anyone's permission. I love this sentiment. So I'm going to stamp this one out in black. I'm just going to place it on my artwork here. There are some bigger stamps in there if you'd like to do a big one, but I'm going to go with this one because I think it's a truly inspirational sentiment, and it can be quite heartfelt for some people too. So I'm just going to stamp this one out in black. Like so. Let's just move this one out of the way. Let's start to put our card together. So before I do that, I just want to show you, I heat embossed the owl on with some gold. Let me see this here. and I cut round with my scissors, detailed cut around the image. And what I did was to accentuate the detail in the back, I used a gel pen and I just highlighted some of the areas in the wings that I felt could just do with a touch of highlight. So when we do come to pop this onto our cardstock, it looks in flight. And I'm also going to give those wings a lovely little lift as well to make it look realistic on the card. And that tail as well. So we have sort of our lovely owl in flight. Now you can flick them up if you want to. I don't think there are any rules. Flick it up, flick it down, whatever suits you. I'm just going to leave it like so. It's so pretty, it doesn't matter how you do it. So let's put our card together first and then we'll mount our beautiful owl on top. So I have a black top folding note card with a nice piece of clean white until I get my mucky paws on it. Like so. And then we have our beautiful piece of craft card with our lovely heat embossed white owl on there. Just on the card, make sure that goes flat. Push that design down. That should be nice and flat now. And then we have our beautiful owl, all nice and flat and beautifully presented. There we go. And then just to accentuate that design, I'm just going to stick this beautiful 3D owl. Now you could repeat the process of cutting him several times and creating that super large winged element, but it's totally personal preference. I'm just going to pop a pad behind the body. I'm just going to pop this beautiful one on top, and I'm just going to slightly offset it so we get the shadow of the white. Can we see here the shadow of the white? Just going to give those wings a little nip and a twist, and then I'm just going to grab my white gel pen and I'm just going to add a little bit of detail in and around. So some white spots in clusters of 3s just to sort of dissolve the large open space in and around. And there we go, a 3D owl, which is super ornate and will reflect and catch the light because it's done in heat embossing, so totally different to an everyday ink pad. So if you have the courage to step into heat embossing, then it really does look beautiful. So there we go, there's today's inspiration. Please check out the rest of our videos. We have lots of inspiration using the fabulous Stamps by Me products. So whatever you're doing, have a lovely day and I will see you all later. Take care everyone, bye.